Hello, Tiny House community. My name is Felice Cohen. I'm actually coming to you today from Cape Cod, not New York. I'm in my childhood home. In fact, I'm in my childhood bedroom closet. Now, I had two closets growing up, two walk-in closets that together were almost 90 square feet. So it's no surprise I actually lived in 90 square feet. So here's the closet. You can see hanging space, my dollhouse from childhood, clothes, everything's organized. So here I am talking from Cape Cod, and the reason I wanted to be in the closet was because this is where all the magic began. This is where I began learning how to organize. As a kid, I would take everything out of the closet, I would organize it, I would put it back in, and I would get rid of what I didn't want. I had no idea I would grow up to become I had no idea you could become a professional organizer. It was just something I love to do. So fast forward 20 years, I'm living in New York City and I'm doing this, stressful job. And I wanted to finish writing my first book about my grandfather, who was a Holocaust survivor. And in order to do that, I had to quit my stressful job. I said, I'm going to give myself 1 year to finish it. And I found a tiny apartment, 90 square feet. And I moved in and I was able to do this. I was able to quit my job because the rent was low, which was the only reason I moved into this tiny apartment. And this was over 10 years ago. This was before tiny houses were a thing. There were no tiny TV shows. People just thought I was nuts. So I moved in and I planned to stay 1 year. And during that year, my life changed. My happiness got increased. My stress level went down. My expenses went down because I wasn't buying anything. So my credit card bills went down and I wasn't buying stuff because I had no place to put it. And at the end of that year, I said, well, I love my lifestyle. I want to stay another year. And I stayed another and another and another. And I stayed 5 years. And I loved those years. I learned so much. And during that time, a YouTube video went viral of me in my tiny space. And after that, I was inundated with emails from people asking for my advice on organizing and decluttering. And that's when I decided to write a book on that and how living tiny made my life larger. So that's what I want to talk about today is how to prepare to either live tiny, or if you're living tiny, how to, make the space feel larger. And even if you live in a large space, how to clear out the clutter, because it doesn't really matter what size space you're in. If you're inundated with clutter, you're going to feel claustrophobic. So when I work with clients, the first thing I ask is not what do you want to get rid of? It's what do you love to do? And then why don't you do it more often? And usually the reason is because of stuff. People have so much stuff. They have to work to pay for that stuff. They have to organize the stuff. They have to move the stuff, dust the stuff. So really it's about getting rid of stuff because, it doesn't really matter where you live. If your stuff is organized, if it's not that much, then it's not that bad. So here's 5 tips that I wrote down just to kind of think about what you can do to get rid of some stuff and how to prepare. Now it's spring, right? We're weeding in the spring cleaning. And the reason why we remove weeds is so the flowers can bloom and we can see them. The same is true with your closet or your stuff or your cabinets, even your Tupperware. It's about getting rid of the stuff you don't need. Get rid of that stuff. Go through it. Now that we're sheltered at home, we're seeing all the stuff. How many of you are wearing the same shirt every day? You can see my lobster shirt. I'm in Cape Cod. I've been wearing this shirt a lot. And then I keep wearing it and I have all these other shirts. I've been getting rid of stuff every day on the bottom of the pile. What do you never reach? Do you never get to the bottom of your sock drawer? Start getting rid of that stuff. Another solution is going vertical. Just like I showed you these shelves here, if you can shelve out a whole wall, or it doesn't even have to be the whole width, the whole section, it can absorb a lot of stuff, which leaves you a lot of free space, which is great. It's going to make you feel like you have a lot of space to spread out on. The other is creating hot and cold zones. Hot zones are areas that are within reach where you keep mugs or jeans, and cold zones are farther away, harder to reach items like off-season clothing. Another thing is minimize appliances. I have a NutriBullet. I love the NutriBullet. It takes the place of a juicer, of a Cuisinart, of a blender, and it's efficient. It does a lot. It's great. And the last thing is multi-use furniture. A lot of these great tiny homes have a bench that opens up, and there are your sweaters. There are your linens. Maybe you have an ottoman at home. You can keep in a blanket or magazines or things you want to read. Well, I want to thank John and Finn for welcoming to another Tiny House Festival. This was my 21st, guys. So love you. Thank you again. All the best. Take care. Bye-bye.